Welcome to Ball and Chain Podcast. This is episode 169. I'm Mox Born again. I have with me, it's my angel.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you? You look
Tired.
You sound
I'm
tired.
beat.
You sound tired.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. So we're back and excited to be here. Got some good stuff to talk about, but we'll wait to get all into that. But first, let's kind of talk about what's been going on in the past 2 weeks. 'Cause it's been 2 weeks since we podcast. What have you been up to in these past 2 weeks?
We didn't podcast last week?
We did not.
Oh.
No, we did not. We skipped it.
Okay.
It was missed.
Work.
Work, and more work.
Christmas-related things.
Christmas related things, which we'll get to in a little bit.
And
Lights. We went to the zoo.
lights.
Took Eli to the zoo. We took Eli sledding today. That was exciting. We
Yeah.
went back to the baseball diamond, which sounds weird because you don't think of a baseball diamond being hilly, but
It's a park.
In the park, yeah, and like further out in the outfield, there's this. It's a pretty big hill.
It's really not on the baseball diamond. It's
Yeah,
in
it's
the park.
Right, it's in the park.
off-
At the
yeah.
bottom of the hill is the baseball diamond.
Right.
So yeah, it was fun. He enjoyed it, and it's we went there last year and he had a blast last year, but this year I really got some good interactions. Good comments. Like at the bottom hill, you always go, again, faster. I'm like, yes, buddy, again and faster. So he was actually able to pull the sled up by himself.
A little ways.
A little ways. I only let him do it for so far just to make sure he could, he did it. So, but yeah. So Angel's going to talk about some Beyond Two Souls without spoiling it. We're going to talk about the game.
I want to spoil it.
Oh, you can spoil it. That's fine. We can talk about game mechanics. We can talk about. Well, the game's been out for what, a couple months now.
But you haven't played it yet, so I don't want to spoil it for you.
That's fine. I mean,
Cover your ears and go na 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 na, and don't listen to the podcast.
right, exactly. We talk about mechanics and gameplay. This is from the same developer as Heavy Rain and
Which I loved.
Indigo Prophecy from the PS1 Xbox era. Or no, PS2.
Two.
PS2 Xbox One era.
It's not that
Xbox,
old.
not Xbox One, the original Xbox. There we go. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, that is difficult.
That was a bad move on their part.
Yeah, they were trying to go for the one device.
Yeah, but maybe Xbox. Well, then that's like Wii U. I say Xbox U, like Universal.
Oh Jesus! Don't even get me started on that.
Well, but I mean U Universal. I mean that would make sense. But then then the Wii had to use that instead. Hey, it would be better than one, because then that just it gets confusing chronologically. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's see what else we got to talk about. Oh, you want some of my drink? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Work's going good. We finally hit goal on a couple of our programs. One of the programs that I've been working on over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. We had an outstanding day Saturday or Friday, so I was really excited. Got to leave early, which never happens.
Yay.
Yay, leaving early. What else has been going on? Really nothing.
Just same old.
Same old. You had a photo shoot today? Yeah, today or yesterday? Yesterday. That went really well.
Yep.
Apparently, your clients did not like last year's pictures from whoever took them, and as soon as you posted them to Facebook for the ones that you took, they really enjoyed them. So that's good.
It's exciting to see. Always good. Hopefully, get some good referrals.
Yeah. The ones of Hazel turned out really good too. So check out Amanda D Photography on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, but you'll see hers.
In Dayton.
In Dayton, Ohio. There, that's a good one. That's a good way to identify. All right, let's talk about what we've been playing. You wanna?
Obviously, I played Beyond Two Souls. I finished it within 3 days.
Yeah. So obviously, you know that it's a good game because you sat and played it in 3 days.
Beat it.
And beat it.
Which doesn't happen for many games.
Right. So let's talk about this.
Well, the reason I don't beat many games is because I like story to games, and I don't like grinding and trying to level up my characters. So this type of game is good for me because that's what it is. It's all story based. There really is no like character level or beefing up your character, things like that to get to the final boss. So this is really kind of my perfect type of game for me. So yeah, I sat down. really didn't know what it was. I watched you play the first chapter or two to it, and it seemed interesting and like something I would like, but I wasn't sure. So I put it in, played a couple of chapters, and got hooked. Like I said, I beat it in 3 days. I'd say it's probably what, like an 8-hour game, somewhere in there,
Yeah, that's
8 to 10.
about right. Yeah.
Not real long, but it's a good story. It's a lot of fun. If you like Heavy Rain, very similar with like quick time type events
That's
and
all it is. I mean, that's pretty much the logistics of the whole game is when you want to do something, there's a button pressed to do it. Like it's
right. There's no, there is some shooting in the game. It's not like you have to aim. You just push like R1 or L1 or whatever the button is. It pops up to tell you to do
right.
it, and it does vary. It's not always the right trigger. So, sorry, dog in front of heater.
Blocking the heat. How dare you?
Yeah. So, I guess that was.
So what do you think? Okay, so let's talk about the controls for a minute. So since there really isn't like
Consistent combat.
consistent combat, I mean actually to tell you the truth,
Combat system is very difficult.
yeah, the hand-to-hand combat is very difficult to master. Or it's hard to learn, easy to master, I think. Because once you kind of get an idea on how it works, basically it's the simplest form is the way your character's moving.
You continue to move
You
that
can
direction.
you push that direction. So if you break it down to its simplest form of up, down, left, or right, the way the camera's facing.
And it makes sense. It's easy to grasp that concept, but a lot of the events happen very quickly.
Right, and the camera's rotating, so when it's in a slow motion,
It slows
when
down
it
for a
slows
second.
down, that's when you gotta do it. So the camera may not be exactly where it needs to be for you to see this left right movement, but if you can, it'll get there and slow down. So like this, it's hard to picture without,
Yeah, and yes, it's slow motion, but the slow motion might just be up for a split second. So, there's a lot of interactions where you kind of just have to go on intuition,
right.
and which is what I think what they're going for. They kind of just want you to feel like you're in the moment and
The
you're
nice thing,
you're going for it.
right? The nice thing about it is that it's not like instant kills. Like if you get it wrong, you're done.
Right.
If you get it wrong, at least within in the game, like I've noticed, I've been through quite a few of the combat phases where if you get it wrong, something bad happens, but it's not the end of the world. You don't die.
Yeah.
You just, something, you just continue on and you try it. It goes again.
Right, because basically, I mean, this story is all about the game. I forget what they call this type of game. What is it, like an interactive, not interactive movie? I forget, but at any rate, the story is all about the game. So your character doesn't like the story is not told chronologically. So you've already seen stuff that happens in
At the very
at
end.
the at not the very end, but
Well, close to the end.
you see stuff that happens later on. If you go back and play an earlier mission, of course your character can't die because you've seen your character alive later.
Right.
So, I mean, they have to make it make sense.
Right. The one thing that I wish there was more of, and you can tell, I don't know if it was just because of they didn't have enough time for it, or they didn't have the resources for this type of like, I guess I'd be like expansion. But the one thing that I really enjoyed was the one scene or the one chapter where you're running through the woods. You're running from the dogs and the guys or whatever, and you're getting shot at. There's helicopters going over top.
Chapter's called Hunted.
Hunted, yeah. Chapter is called Hunted. And you yourself made it through that chapter without being captured. You actually ran up to a street where there was a couple police officers, parked vehicles, and a motorcycle that you just ran up and jumped on and just took off. However, me being terrible at the combat system, I got stopped by the damn dogs. And one of those instances.
Ended up in the back of the police cruiser.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that
Oh.
far, is one of those instances where the button control was different because I got tackled by one of the dogs, and I was reaching for a stone that had the right trigger logo on it, but it was on the left side of the goddamn screen. So I'm sitting here pushing the left trigger, and I'm already terrible at this stupid game because I hate the controller. But I'm sitting here pushing left. I'm like, it's not going, it's not going. And clearly I'm reading RT and it's LT. So then I finally push it, but the dog, like, starts tearing away. And then the cops come up and say, get your dog off her. And I get captured and thrown in cuffs. And I'm in one of those cruisers that you walked up on. So at the end of the day, it was the same thing happened, but it was a different route. And I wish that I want them to do that, but span over one or two chapters. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Well, and that's kind of the thing that a lot of people had problems with is that you have a lot of kind of potential choices. Like the game makes it feel like you have choices.
but at the end of the day, the same
And
thing
nothing,
happens.
right? Nothing is going to be any different.
Right, which the journey from in one chapter is maybe different, but the start of the chapter and the end of the chapter is the exact same thing.
Right.
And that's what kind of bothers me just a little. I mean, I guess it doesn't really bother me about the game because the game is excellent. But if they could take it one step further, with the Xbox One and the PS4, this is what I want to see. I want to see your chapters 1 through 3 completely different than mine 1 through 3.
Which is going to be difficult because the story was not told chronologically. So, if they show what happens when you're 26 and then you go back and play when you're 10 years old, how is that? I mean, that can't affect what happened in your year 26. I mean, that's
Right. Well,
one
I mean,
of the problems.
basically, they can't make you die. Essentially, like you can't lose a limb. Or
Right,
something
but
like
if you
that.
play evil when you're 10 and you were good when you were 26, you know what I mean? Like
Then maybe something happened. Maybe they need to throw in a random event that
between.
makes you turn good, whatever that may be.
Right.
But then again, what happens if you don't do good there? Then how do they swing that?
Right. And that's, this game boasts 23 endings. Well, I've seen 23 one place, I've seen 11 another place. The problem is I don't want to say this without spoiling it. I don't know how to. Basically, the end game, things you do earlier in the game, certain things do have minimal impact, and I say minimal. The biggest things are right at the very end. Basically, this big event happens, and then it says you can choose this or this. You get
Kinda
one
like
ending.
like Fable 2, like you had like this, or no, it's Fable 3. You got to choose either save the kingdom or save your dog.
Right, and
And then
that's
if you chose save the kingdom, your dog died. And then they released a patch for everyone to get their dog back.
right. That's kind of how this is. Like at the end, you can choose this or this, and then if you choose this, then you have like 3 more options you can choose. There's your like 11 endings right there. So it's
Right.
not anything to do with what you did earlier in the game.
Right.
It's all those. It's just that
But the
little
thing- but
decision
you have
right
to-
there at the end.
And that's kind of what I want towards in the future. And I think that's what we'll get in the future because at the end of the game, no matter what you pick, it doesn't matter because that's the end of the game. So they can make the choices matter at the end because they don't have to. They can do throw
There
up like 3 or
are-
4 different videos of
there are
between the 10
some
choices.
like there are like I don't know 5 main characters throughout this thing that you can either kill or let be killed by circumstances, or you can save them.
I don't think I've come across that yet.
I don't know if you have yet or not.
I don't know.
But there are certain people who your actions can either save or kill, and that does make a minuscule change, I think, in the end.
So that just
Basically,
shows up at the end there.
kind of, yes. One of your choices, I'll just go ahead and say it. It's not like a huge spoiler. In the end, if you live.
What do you mean if you live? Oh Jesus, that's a pretty big spoiler.
Well,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
you can choose to live with 3 different people. Well, if one of those people is dead, then you don't get the choice to live with them.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
you
that
can
makes
you
sense.
can live out your life with, like that's one of the things. You can live out your life with this person, or this person is one of the choices.
Okay.
However, if you let all of those people die, like
Is that an
so,
option? Letting them all die?
I think so. Yeah, I really don't.
I just have to play. I just have to get to that point. Then I guess
You just need to get to the end.
looks like that's what I'll be doing tonight. I really need. I really enjoy it, and we'll talk about what pulled me away from it. It took a lot to pull me away from it,
Sorry.
but I'm in the homeless thing or whatever, talking to I don't remember the guy's name right now, but it's
Stan?
Stan, yeah, Stan. So I'm kind of intrigued. Like I just got through this awesome battle with the warp or whatever the tear the vagina thing that was torn open and shit was coming out
The
of it. I don't know what it's called. Nick will probably post it here in a second.
is Nick watching?
But that was excellent. I really enjoyed that scene.
Oh,
I mean,
he was watching. He
it was
posted
very
something.
it was well orchestrated. I mean, like it went from very subtle. Like I almost fell asleep while I was like walking through like the office area, and then like it really started to pick up and
It's scary. It's creepy. Some of those scenes. Oh
right.
man.
But all in all, I really enjoyed it. I really am enjoying it, and just want more. I just want more. Just like in Heavy Rain, I wanted more.
Right.
Love that game to death. Just want more. And I know that would be difficult to accomplish as far as spanning 3 or 4 chapters or whatever differences.
Or the entire game.
Or the
I
entire
mean,
game.
you kind of want it to be like one of those choose your own stories when you were
Right.
little, you know, like, okay, if you do this, if you make this choice here, then go to page 10, like same kind of thing.
Yeah. But
Oh, you die.
oh, you're dead. Right. That would suck. Like if you bought this $60 game and within 10 minutes you truly did die. Like you did something
Game
that
over.
just killed you. And like I mean,
Let's go back to the beginning.
go back, start over, and like it doesn't let you save your progress or anything like.
Oh.
Well, it does. It saves your progress up to the exact moment, and you can't like reset a checkpoint like that.
Yeah,
To me,
this
like ultimate mode, like nightmare mode or something like that, that would be like the ultimate game. Like I know it'd piss a bunch of people off, or at least give me the option to turn off like that type of like reset checkpoints or something
that's
like
what
that.
there is an achievement to get all the different endings, and you can't like I've read places that tell you how to like what you need to do in order to save people or not save people essentially in each chapter.
I haven't really got to that point yet. Although the one thing that did spark my interest, and I'm wondering if Stan is going to play a bigger role in it. You don't have to spoil it or not, but because when we were talking, one of the things that came up is have I killed anyone before? And I clearly have killed a lot of people. Well, yeah, because the homeless was after the little
After Hunted,
after Hunted, and at the end of Hunted, I killed a whole bunch of people. I really wanted to kill those people that made fun of me at the birthday party. I tried
Game wouldn't
really
let you.
hard. I even burnt
and
the
that's the
house
thing.
down.
That's the whole like where it seems like you have choices, but
I
you really don't.
I really wanted like they made fun of me, like clearly made fun of me. And I tried to befriend a bunch of them, and
Well, and as Aiden as her like the spirit
protector guy.
whatever. I'm not going to go into what he is, but
He's kind of like
the
the little
game-
devil on my shoulder. Like, do it.
if you think of him that way,
He is, because
he doesn't have to be thought of that way though.
but just kind of like the whole like
You'll
when
see
you grab
more-
onto something and like the screen starts shaking and parts start tearing apart when you. I mean, if you hold the or the thumbsticks down long enough, like the screen starts tearing apart, and like, that's just so evil. Like like I don't just
Because you view him as evil.
he is evil. He's very very evil, an innocent child, evil guy. Like, this is like there's like a pedophile that lives inside
I
of her.
think it'll be interesting when you actually see what he is.
Oh, is he a pedophile? Is he your father? Luke, I am your father.
You'll
Don't
find
tell
out.
me.
You'll find out. At any rate, you know, allowing because it shows you when you're in his view. You know, certain people you can't do anything with. Some have an orange highlight, which means you can kind of take over their body, and red highlight means you can kill them. You
Right.
know, it would be cool if you could choose who you took over
I'm
or who
glad-
you could kill or what
I'm
you could
glad
really
you
do
said
with
that.
them.
I am glad you said that because I that's one of the things I wanted to bring up because
It's very limiting.
it is limiting. But the simple fact was like when at the end of the Hunted when there's snipers on the roofs and there's guys with like AK-47s and like M14s or whatever on the ground. I want to take care. I want to take the sniper guy and shoot everyone on the ground. However, I take control of the
That's not what
sniper
the game
guy.
developers wanted you to
Well,
do.
I take control of the sniper guy. Well, yeah, because they wanted to show off all the cool engine parts, and that's the thing. That should be part of the exploration. Is if you want to take control of the sniper guy and just be boring ass Joe and just shoot people in the face from above, like on the building, then you should be able to do it. Or if I want to fly up and take the helicopter and just crash it into shit, I should be able to do it. However, they wanted you to explore everything that they had
Right.
created, and they kind of held your hand at that point. But
Yeah, that's the thing. It's meant to feel open ended, but it's very guided.
yeah, it'll.
I
think
mean, I really liked it, but
it was more open ended than Heavy Rain was. Heavy Rain was very scripted. If you look at the two side by side, like
I really don't remember a lot about. I mean, I remember the
You pretty-
gameplay a
you
little
pretty
bit.
much choose who lives and dies, and that's about it. Everything else starts and finishes the exact same way.
That's
Chapters
kind of this.
chapters were much shorter. The game itself was much. I think the game itself
There's
was
some
only
short
5
chapters.
hours.
You're coming on some short chapters.
Well, I mean, the whole game was like 5 hours, so I mean, it was a much shorter game. So like, it's nice to see that they expand. Like this new game is pulled apart a little bit more. You've got a little bit more choices. Like you can control this guy, or you can just flat out kill this guy. I want to flat out kill everybody.
of course you do.
I like flipping cars. And when you said, hey, you were supposed to flip that car towards the people, and I flipped it away from them, and then they started to advance on me, I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? And then the helicopter came down a little bit, and I'm like, and you're like, hey, go crash the helicopter. So I went up and grabbed the helicopter, and the dude just went right out. Like, there was like 6 guys down there. They
Yeah.
all died. It was amazing. So
I mean, they
I don't
still
know.
advanced on me even when I flipped the cars toward them. I mean, I killed
Oh,
some. I
really?
killed some, but
No.
more came in. I
I
mean,
like the one guy that threw a grenade at his
Yeah,
buddy's
that
feet.
was pretty funny.
good. Like, that's not nice, dude.
anyway,
So all in all, good game.
it was a good game.
I gotta finish
The
it.
story is really good. It's
Right.
it's pretty interesting. That's the whole main point. Anyway, that's my thing.
That's your segment. Okay, great. So
what's
let's
your
talk
thing?
about my segment. So I got a new deck box for my Magic deck. It's got the black logo on it. No, actually, that's not what I want to talk about. What I would like to talk about is Xbox One. Amanda or Angel and Eli came upstairs while I was playing Beyond Two Souls, and they're like, "You sure you don't want your Christmas present now?" And I didn't know what was going on because I was trying to focus on. I was talking to Stan. I was trying to talk to Stan, and Eli walks up and hands me a gift. I think, or did you hand it to me? I don't know. Either way,
Eli, because I gave him that.
Eli handed it to me, and he said something about
Paradise City.
Paradise City, and that's the Xbox 360 game we played. He said something then Paradise City, and I didn't hear what he said.
He's been saying this like
Right,
a lot
and I
lately.
have a hard time understanding what the kid says anyway. But this did, like, Paradise City is so clear and crisp. I don't know what it was before, so I'm like, all right. So I'm holding the case, and it feels like a PlayStation game. So the first thing that comes to mind is it's Beyond Two Souls. That's the very first thing I thought of, or a Blu-ray, because it's not.
Really? You thought? Why would I give you a game that we were already playing?
I don't know. So I can give Nick his copy back.
Nah, Nick doesn't need it back.
He probably does. We only had it for like 3 months. Anyway. So then I'm like, all right, I'll open it. So we open it, and it's an Xbox One game, and I'm like, can't play this. So then you walk in and you put the Xbox One down. So I got Xbox One for Christmas
Yeah.
a week early.
It is early. However, I was really hard for me to hold it in there as long as it was as we had it. So yeah, I was wanting to play it. You cannot believe I went to Target and I had it in the car and I'm like, I want to go home and take it out. But no, I didn't do that. It's been sitting in Eli's closet. The other part was Eli has been asking almost every day to see the new Paradise City. It's because we got Need for Speed.
Rivals.
So right, so it's a new racing game. And all racing games are Paradise
Yeah.
City.
All racing games are Paradise City.
Yeah, so this is new Paradise City.
Paradise City is, by all accounts, an awesome, awesome game.
Right. But
This is new.
This is the new
This
Paradise
is
City.
new.
So
Which by strangely enough is made by the same game, the same team. Well, not the same team. It's on Criterion.
developer.
Criterion was originally on their own, and they made Burnout. I think Burnout Paradise was still. I still think it's an EA game, but they switched over when EA purchased Need for Speed, or they bought out that franchise. So they went from Burnout to Need for Speed.
Yeah, but the other reason, being I had been talking to some of Joe's friends, trying to get them to talk me into giving him the system early because I was
Oh, so you're trying to get them to say yes.
pretty much so like.
Thanks, guys. You're the best. Cheers.
Well, so I was like, well, would you want it now or later? Because Christmas Day, we're gonna get up, we're gonna have breakfast. My dad will come over.
Eli has a ton of toys.
Eli
to
has
open.
stuff to open, and he's gonna want help opening them. And then we're gonna have lunch at my grandparents. I'm like, so if he gets the Xbox on Christmas morning, it's gonna be like, okay, set it up and leave, and don't get to play your new system. So
Oh.
I figured, yeah, and then Joe would pout, which is exactly what Doug said.
Oh, I wouldn't pout. Well, I would pout, but I wouldn't look like I'm pouting. I would sit
Okay.
over like, yeah, I'm excited to be here, but I have a new Xbox at home. Yay.
So I thought,
No,
you
I
know
would be
what?
nice.
It's less than 10 days. We're in single digits. We'll go ahead and give it to him today. So that's what we did.
I'm excited. So we broke out the new system. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, and other people got it for you too, like
right,
my dad. And,
right.
yeah.
So I have to say thank you to everyone. I appreciate it. It's awesome. Need for Speed's a lot of fun. Probably one of the. I mean, it's definitely a family-friendly title. Another game I'm looking at would be Dead Rising.
Which
Killer
would
Instinct
not be.
Killer Instinct is free. Gonna download it after the show. Can't wait for that. That's exciting.
Call of Duty
Combo breaker.
Ghosts.
Call of Duty Ghosts is probably gonna be. I gotta find out if Ducky has it on.
She does not have it on one.
Does she have it on the original Xbox?
I don't know.
Or Xbox 360? I don't know. But I can't wait to play a Halo game on this. They did announce
Destiny, you mean?
Halo 3 or next Halo or Destiny's. That's all. Whichever. I'm stoked. Or that one. I can't remember what.
Peggle
it is.
2.
Peggle 2. That looks like a lot of fun. $12. A lot of good games coming out for it.
As crazy as it sounds, that Zookeeper whatever.
Zoo Tycoon looks really good.
Just the visuals of it are actually kind of pretty, and it's not a game I would have ever really given a whole lot of thought to. But Eli actually might enjoy it because he likes
all the
animals
games.
and-
All the games that are out are available for download digitally, which is nice. I can't imagine downloading a 19 gigabyte file. 7 didn't take that long. It was about an hour, maybe.
couple.
Really? A couple hours? We didn't start playing until 8:30, and it's
I
10.
gave you the system at like 4:30.
Right, but we were playing other things and doing other stuff. I didn't start that download until I don't know. Anyway, sad part is it's still full price. I would like to see like a $5 discount on.
Just because they don't have to pay for packaging and
Yeah.
they don't have to pay for the disc. They don't have to pay
Yeah.
for printing of the package or any of that.
Or
crap.
give me $5 in credit or something like that. Make me spend 60 and give me $5 back or something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
something because they don't have to shelving space. I mean, there's all
You
kinds
have
like
to press discs.
yeah,
They don't have to ship it.
should be cheaper.
Should be cheaper. God
They're
damn
making
it.
a lot more money off those than they are.
Oh well, that's all right. They can
So-
make their money. I'll spend my gas and go to a store and get it. No, I'm just kidding.
I would rather have the.
I would
Vulcan
rather have the
and all
box.
that.
Yeah, until it's cheaper to digitally download it, I will continue to get the boxes. Excuse me. Let's see here. So the system itself was pretty easy to set up. I was kind of surprised. The one thing that we've pretty much come to an agreement on, and we didn't talk about this, but I'm assuming you'll agree with me, is remembering passwords and different logins and what's linked to what is a pain in the ass. Like my Ball and Chain podcast Skype is linked to your gamer tag, which is linked to your email, but it has my email as a register.
Yeah, and
Like-
even after we unlinked everything and I created a new account, it still has your picture.
Right, I don't know what the hell that's all about.
I don't
know.
either.
But, it's one of those things where we're going to have to really kind of, because it really is all connected. So because that's what they use for their video chat is Skype. So we have to get that all sorted out. Whether
Right.
we use Skype or not. I mean, you use iChat or not iChat, FaceTime on your
FaceTime.
phone, but my parents and I use Skype on our phones and on their tablet. So I mean, we're one way or the other, we're gonna have to get it straightened out.
Yeah, and it's just, I'll say too,
And Origin, we got your Origin count back.
we got that fixed, yeah, because that had been hacked. Because now you have to sign in to Origin to play the EA games
Right,
online.
online.
So it's a lot of signing in and various accounts
Right.
connected to
Which-
everything.
Let's be honest. I would rather have to sign into Origin than the alternative. The alternative, which was last generation, was if you bought a used game, you had to buy an online pass to play online. And if you bought a used game, you had to pay $15 to EA for that online pass. So not only did you just buy a $35 game used, but throw on $15 on top
Might
to
as well
get
buy a new one.
right. So that's why we would buy a new one. But however, this I would rather, sign into EA and sign into Origin or whatever, as long as I can remain signed in and it doesn't get hacked. So anyway,
Nick brings up an interesting point. It's watching you and knows if you've been naughty or nice.
it is kind of creepy because it knows our voices now.
And we've only owned it for like what, 6 hours?
Right. Like I'll start talking. Like I will give it a command and it will pull up my login or because like we each choose our own colors. and
Right. So the
schemes and
buttons
stuff
on the
like that.
dashboard are your colors.
Right. So I'll say so. I'll give. We were trying to sign into your Skype account, and I gave it a command, and it pulled up my Skype account. Like no.
Right,
So
because
you had to do it. Which
yeah.
Is scary as all get out.
Because as soon as you walk in the room, it logs you in. It sees your face and logs you in.
Right.
So we're like, okay, well, how is it going to know? Like, if I were to start playing a game, how does it know that I'm playing and I'm playing under my saves and not Mox's saves? Well, if I were to give it the command, it switches my account to the active account
right.
and would
Whoever
pull up
starts
my.
the gaming, yeah.
So it's weird and kind of creepy that it recognizes your voice.
And it remembers things too because you were playing, I think, or no, you were downloading something and playing with Skype, and I switched back to playing Need for Speed, and it remembered where I was. Like it didn't stop the game.
It keeps everything open all the time. Like it's weird. Like you can't close what you're in. Like it just
Right.
leaves it open and then like
Yeah, we were.
minimizes it. It's bizarre.
We had a last gen issue or moments. We had in order to stop it from playing Need for Speed, we ejected the disc. That was that bad. That was bad. We're like, okay, stop playing Need for Speed. We want to go
Yeah.
to the menu.
Well, because you're in the menu, you're in the menu, but it's still like it shows
Right,
you
it
know your
shows-
dashboard, and then it's got the little picture of like TV show you're watching or
Right, which is
the
sweet.
game you're downloading or the store or whatever. It's kind of got like this little minimized window on there. But how do you get the game to stop and go back to the main menu? Like there is no main menu. Like we couldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Oy.
Well, part of the issue is because we download because you got to install the game, but once it hits 10% or whatever the percentage is for that game, you can start playing it. Well, we started playing it when we said we could. However, the accelerator
Couldn't go.
there was no acceleration. Like I was pushing the button, it wouldn't go. I could put the brakes on and I could use the nitro, but I couldn't hit the gas. And I don't know why. If I hit
We thought the right trigger was broken.
right, we thought the right trigger, the controller was broken. I was very upset. I was like, no, I don't. Like, we don't have to have the right trigger, do we? Like, we don't
Yes.
need that.
Only like one of the most important buttons.
Nah, just use lefties all the time. Switch the buttons. You don't need a handbrake. Anyway,
It
the,
is going to take some getting used to.
it is. The language is going to be the biggest thing. Like saying Xbox,
And
go
Eli.
to this. We had it was a pretty hilarious moment. We were trying to get the Snap feature because you can watch TV or play a game and you can say Xbox Snap, and it'll pull up like one. I don't know. I don't want
Well, like
1/8
2/3 of the TV
not
is
2/3.
well, 2/3 of the TV was like the TV, and the other like third was
slightly smaller than that. I don't know.
whatever. The
Whatever.
other section of the TV was I think
We were trying to browse. We were trying to Internet
Explorer.
Yeah, we were trying to search for something. I don't know.
yeah,
So we were watching live TV and
Doc McStuffins.
right, and searching for something on Internet Explorer, and Eli picks up the fact that we're screaming at the TV because we can't get the commands right. Like, because you got to say, it's clear what you have to say Xbox, and then if you want to watch TV, you have to say watch TV.
Go
Or
to.
go to if you want to play a game or open an application. Like, it's very specific as to what you have to say. So we're sitting here saying Xbox Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And you have to say Xbox Watch Nickelodeon. And so we're sitting here screaming at the TV, and he like goes, watch movies!
Well, because he was mad because we had the Internet Explorer up,
Right.
and it was covering up like the
Part of the
racetrack.
screen.
Like there was a racetrack on the TV, and he wanted to see these cars racing, and he was getting all mad that like it was covering up his screen a little bit. So,
So he-
watch TV, watch movies.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. So we were talking about how it would be funny to make a like a web series, like my child was raised by Kinect or something like that, or Xbox One, or parent Xbox One, or something like that. So, just
Yeah.
the things that happen, absolutely hilarious.
I think Joe was holding a card up to the Xbox to try to get it to like read
right.
like something on the Kinect.
So you no longer have to type in the 25-digit codes, which is outstanding because they're 25 digits, and who wants to go through an on-screen keyboard for that garbage? So instead, each game, you can still do that, but each game, whenever it has a code, like we've got the Day 1 edition of the Xbox, so it came with a card that has an achievement or something, and it's got like one of those giant QV whatever, the black block letters or whatever.
Like a barcode kind of
It's like a
thing.
barcode. You hold it up, and this thing scans it, and it's like bloop bloop, and it gives you your achievement. So Eli's holding up other things to the screen, like trying to get it to go.
Yeah, it's because he's totally into copying everything that you say or do right now, which can be bad, but also hilarious sometimes.
Right.
Like the no, watch movies.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think, and he ran up and turned the Xbox off at one point.
Right.
It's going to be interesting seeing how he manages when he comes downstairs and starts talking about the Xbox and learning how to actually command it while we're watching something or trying to play something.
Xbox off. Oh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mom,
think
play
one-
with me. Turn Xbox off. And the
Right,
whole thing turns off.
One of the things that is going to be difficult trying to get to maneuver, because you can power the TV on, turn the TV volume down, mute the TV, and stuff like that, and then you can also interact with the cable box, so it has like a on-screen. You can
But
you can
not the stereo.
right, but it does. But the thing that we're running into is we run our Xbox and now our TV through the surround sound, but there's no voice commands for the surround
For the
sound.
volume. Yeah.
So we'll have to. I don't know how we're gonna have to program it so the Xbox thinks the Onkyo is the TV and see
I don't
if
think it will because it's not a TV, so it probably doesn't have like in its.
But I read
Because you
that-
know how like
well,
you have codes. For,
I know,
like,
but hear me out. I was reading online on how it does it because I was interested to find out how does the Xbox control the TV. Like, how does it turn the volume up? How does it turn the TV off? In the Kinect is an what do they call it? An AR blaster, or IR blaster. Basically, what's in the end of your remote? It's infrared. There's basically 3 little dots that shoots out laser, like invisible red laser thing, invisible lasers,
Right.
and that hits your TV receiver. So that's how it controls
So your voice commanding a little tiny remote in your Xbox?
in the Kinect, and whatever you say. So like you say volume up, and the Kinect or the Xbox reads the volume up command and tells Kinect to turn the volume up. So it shoots out whatever button you would be pressing on your remote is what's Kinect is sending out through IR. So the Onkyo has an IR receiver. So technically
So
it
your
should
Kinect is acting like a universal remote.
exactly. So if I tell it to speak to the Onkyo,
But you had to select the brand of TV.
right? So
but
in the
that-
brand of TV there's hopefully would be Onkyo in there.
Do they make TVs?
I
I
don't
think
know,
they
but
do.
we're gonna
I
find
think
out.
They're just audio, like Bose.
We're gonna find out. So
Okay.
I think that's how we'll have to go about it. So
But then it won't turn the TV on.
right. I don't
So
know.
do you want the sound on or do you want the TV on?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You might just have to have a remote or just leave your
First world problems.
yeah, definitely. Leave
First
your
world problems.
stereo on all the
I
time.
mean, if I only have to press the power button to turn the TV on and I don't have to touch anything else,
I would rather just turn the power on or just leave your stereo on all the time and then.
Oh wow, aren't you just Miss Environmental Friendly? Keeping
Okay,
energy
Mister, I
safe.
can always have my Xbox and my.
Xbox on.
Shh, it's listening.
It's listening. It's watching us.
I started bleeping myself when we were talking about it
Right,
earlier.
because you can't even say Xbox because it'll be like, I'm listening.
What?
It says
It's like,
it
oh,
says up there, stop listening, because that's the command you
yeah.
have to give it to, so it stops listening until you say
Stop
Xbox.
listening to me.
Oh, good stuff. Anyway, it's a hoot. I'm looking forward to playing more of it and kind of getting more interaction with it.
More games coming out.
More games coming out. There's still some things that seem unfinished, like the Avatar stuff.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, that does make me angry. I mean, not as angry as you, but it does make me angry because you clearly are very angry. 'Cause that pisses me off. Um, no, but like in the Xbox 360, you had the opportunity to clothe your avatar and change, buy clothes for this thing, and I don't think we
That was
bought.
a,
I don't think we bought anything, but you
yeah,
downloaded.
I did.
Did you buy
Yeah, I
stuff?
did. I bought stuff.
Wow, you would actually give them real money for fake stuff that you can no longer get. How does that make you feel?
Ripped off.
Microsoft's like, ha, got your
Well,
$500 and I got your $299.
and you can play games and get achievements.
Right, that's the thing that makes me angry. I've got a bunch of clothes that I got
Won from other
from
games.
other games that I can no longer access until they update it.
Right.
So it used to be like a closet avatar editor, and now the avatar editor is more like a gamer picture editor. That's all it is. Like you can just change what your pose your dude's standing in, but he's got the same clothes on as last time you're logged into 360.
So we just have to go upstairs to our 360
Right.
and edit.
I feel sorry for the people that sold their 360s.
Yeah, we still have a couple of them.
Right. Although you can go on Xbox.com and change that stuff, so there's always that. So if you're only,
But I won't be wearing any avatar clothes until they bring it back on there, because, yeah.
What do you mean? What?
Until they bring an avatar editor, like a real one, I will not be purchasing any more avatar clothing.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, you can change that stuff on your
Right, I know.
purchase stuff is on Xbox.com.
I know.
So, but that's a pain in the butt. You should go. Microsoft. You should Xbox. What would be the command? Xbox go to Internet Explorer, Bing, Xbox.com.
Yeah, not doing all that business. And
Yeah,
we
you
still
could-
can't figure it out, so we're still yelling at the TV, and
Right.
meanwhile, Eli's yelling.
By the way,
No, no,
Internet
no, 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 no,
Explorer,
watch
come
movies.
on. I want Firefox or Chrome. Internet Explorer, come on. It's not 1999. Anyway,
Look, it's 1999. That was my hacker on my Origin account security question. What happened in 1999? I have no idea what that happened in 1999.
Y2K.
No, that didn't happen in 1999. That's
happened
why they
at-
called it year 2K.
It happened at the end of 1999.
The beginning of 2000.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
slap
this
you.
is going way off target here.
Anyway, at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
At the end of the day.
The one Halo game that they released for Windows tablets and Windows phones, like a top-down shooter thing or whatever, kind of reminds me a lot of like Torchlight or Diablo. Not necessarily a 99 red balloons. 99 red balloons. It's not necessarily like a hunt. Like it's third-person perspective over top, like isometric stuff. They announced that in March that game will be released for Xbox One, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Okay, so in March the big game is going to be Titanfall, so we are definitely getting that game. That's going to. That game looks awesome. Tell you what, I'll go wait in line at midnight, and you can have Peggle 2 to play while I'm waiting in line.
Tell you what, how about we get a PS4 so I can get Drake?
That's doesn't even have a release date yet.
Okay. When it comes out, I want a PS4.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a fair deal. I
Good
don't
deal.
think it's going to be before March, though.
Okay, that's fine.
But we're talking about March and Titanfall. And-
Why are we in March? It's December.
Right. Let's talk about a Halo game. Anyway. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else you want to
No,
add?
I don't. We've gone off on way too many tangents tonight.
All right, so I think that's it. We'll be back next week. We'll check in with the Xbox and see what it's been watching.
And hopefully we have mastered it.
I doubt it. There's so much. I mean, there's so much. Like when you put Xbox and it like pops up with all the commands, you're like, oh Jesus God, what do I want to say? Like it really is kind of overwhelming. So
I'm frustrated with the video chat right now.
well, you can get
Because
that.
the other one, they just had the Connect chat, and you could just go like, "Hey, here's my friends." Now you have to go through Skype, and you have to be friends with them on Skype, and not just, and you can't
Can't just voice
go
video
like,
chat.
"Here's
with-
my friend, and I want to chat with them." No,
Right.
it's way too difficult. That's my beef with that.
That's what really grinds your gears.
It does.
Tell you what else grinds my gears.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to think of something. All right. Well, let's. We'll be
I
back
have
next.
a lot. I have a lot that's grinding my gears tonight.
You really don't like the Xbox One. I don't know why you bought it for me if
The
you don't
Avatar
like
thing, the Skype thing. I've got a lot of issues, a lot of bones to pick tonight. I'm very
Okay.
intolerant.
it. You're angry.
I am.
Why are you so angry?
Don't know.
Awkward silence. All right. All right, guys. We'll be back next Monday, 10 o'clock. I just downloaded the Dead Space 3. Maybe we'll rent a game
Dead
next week.
Rising 3.
What'd I say?
Dead Space, which you
God.
called Dead Space, Dead Rising when I upgraded my Origin
'Cause
account.
we got your
So
Origin
yeah,
account back, so I can play Dead Space 3. But maybe we'll rent a game this week sometime. I don't know when.
play your new one you already just got.
Oh,
Finish,
yeah, let's
finish,
that. Yeah, I
finish
got-
the other one upstairs on the
Yeah,
PlayStation.
so we can get Nick his game back.
Yeah. And you've got like 2 games you're working on before you go renting any more. Just
Damn,
chill
I'm
out
so
for a
excited.
second.
All right, I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. You can head over to ballandchainpodcast.podbean.com to see all of our older episodes. And then we'll be back next Monday at 10 o'clock on ustream.com.tv/channel/BC podcast. Have a great night, guys.
See ya.